Welcome to Let's Think Out of the Box. So today in the slide we will be seeing about irrigation. What is irrigation and the different types of irrigation. So what do you see in the picture? You see fields with different types of crops and water flowing through the fields. So this is irrigation. Irrigation is nothing but the different methods used to water plants in the field. Okay, so now we will be seeing two definitions on irrigation. Irrigation is nothing but what farmers do when they add water to their fields. So it is nothing but the different methods farmers use when they are watering crops in the field. The second definition, irrigation is the agricultural process of applying controlled amounts of water to land to assist in the production of crops known as watering. So irrigation is nothing but watering of the different methods used in watering the fields for the growth of crops is known as irrigation. Okay, now let's see the four types of irrigation. First one, drip irrigation. Second, surface irrigation. Third, sprinkler irrigation. And fourth, sub irrigation. So this is drip irrigation. What do you see in the image? We see we see crops that are planted, plants that are planted in the field, and nearby we see a pipeline that is running near the plants. So this is drip irrigation. In drip irrigation, what they do is from the source, be it well, from where water is provided is the source. From the source, water is provided through pipes or through tubes. So from there water is provided, and near each plant there is an opening in the pipe from where water drips down slowly. So this is drip irrigation. Okay, now let's see what is drip irrigation. Drip irrigation is a process where water is distributed evenly to plants through valves, pipes, tubing and emitters. So through the pipes, tubing, emitters, water is provided to the plants, and in this process the water drips slowly to each plant either from above the soil surface or buried below the soil surface. So these pipelines which run carrying the water, they either run above the soil or below the soil. From there water drips down slowly to each plant. The next is surface irrigation. What do you see in the picture? We see water from the source, water is provided and it is running down the fields. So in surface irrigation, there is no external source that is applied for the flow of water. It solely depends upon the gravity. The water just flows down using gravity. Now let's see what is surface irrigation. In the process of surface irrigation, water is applied and distributed over the soil surface depending on the gravity. So there is no external force applied for the flow of water, just solely based on gravity the water flows through the fields. It is one of the most common methods. So around the world it is one of the most common methods used, and it is also one of the most oldest form of irrigation that is being used from centuries to centuries. Now let's see the next slide. This is sprinkler irrigation. So what do you see in the field? What do you see in the picture? We see fields, and from the sprinkler water is being sprayed to the crops. So here the sprinkler irrigation, the principle used is that of rainfall. So from the source water is applied, is given to the sprinkler, and from the sprinkler the water is sprayed out, and then the water breaks down and it falls to the ground in the form of water drops. So the principle is very similar to that of rainfall. Now let's see what is sprinkler irrigation. Sprinkler irrigation is the method of applying water in a controlled manner in the form of spraying in a way similar to rainfall. So in sprinkler irrigation, water is given from the source to the sprinkler, and from the sprinkler it is sprayed out to the crops. They fall down to the crops in the form of water drops. That is very similar to rainfall. Now let's see the next one. This is sub irrigation. In sub irrigation, water is provided directly to the roots of the plants. From the source, water is provided directly to the roots of the plants. Now let's see what is sub irrigation. Sub irrigation is a process of irrigation where water is provided to the root zone of the plant. So directly from the source through pipes, the water is given directly to the root zones of the plants. So in this way, the crops are watered in sub irrigation. Okay, thank you. I hope you all understood what is irrigation and the different 4 types of irrigation. So if you like this presentation, like, share, subscribe. Thank you. Let's all learn and grow together.